Yeah.
Say cheese. Say cheese. Right there. Can you say cheese? Huh? You're welcome. Go see mommy. Guys, today on House of Plenty, I'm going to show you how to make a couple of different homemade snacks that you can enjoy at your Christmas parties or that you can give as gifts. I'm going to start with firecrackers. Firecrackers are a really popular thing here in the South. They're served at a lot of parties, especially at holidays, and they're super easy to make. And I'm going to show you how to do them 2 different ways. This is a very, very low-tech episode. You have probably everything you need already in your house. All right, the first way we're going to do it today is with oyster crackers. The type of crackers that you would normally serve with your soup or your chili. Got some laying out here on the counter. Right. And for this recipe, we're going to use 2 10-ounce packages of oyster crackers. All right, we've got 2 10-ounce packages of oyster crackers, and I have put them into a large airtight container. I've got a cake preserver here with a lid, and we're going to want to have an airtight container. You could use a Tupperware or any kind of airtight container you have and just do it in multiple batches if you need to. I've got 2 10-ounce packages of oyster crackers in my container here, and I have 1 cup of canola oil. It's important to use canola oil because any other kind of oil is just going to impart some kind of flavor that you might not want. To my 1 cup of canola oil, I have 1 1-ounce package of Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning mix. I have 2 tablespoons of crushed red pepper flakes, a ½ teaspoon of garlic powder, and a ½ teaspoon of onion powder. That's it. I'll take my whisk here. I'm just going to whisk this up in here. It's all incorporated and homogeneous. Okay. Alright, we're just going to incorporate this so this is all homogeneous. And then all we're going to do is we're going to gently drizzle this over our oyster crackers. We're going to put about half the mixture in here. I'm going to put the lid on. Shake her up. Now we're going to go in with the other half of our mixture. Make sure you keep stirring this up because all that, the crushed red pepper and the black pepper in the seasoning packet, you're going to want to settle to the bottom. Just turn all over. lid back on. Shake it up. Now we're going to want to let this sit in here for about 20 minutes. And about every 5 minutes, we're just going to shake it up again. And that 20-minute period is going to allow the crackers to absorb all that oil and that seasoning. We're going to shake it up about every 5 minutes just to make sure that nothing's pooling in a corner or in a certain area. We're going to make sure it gets evenly distributed throughout the container. So we'll see you in 20 minutes. Okay, everybody, it's been about 20 minutes, and I've about every 5 minutes that time I shook this up and flipped it around, and our firecrackers are done. I'm going to take the lid off of our container here. See that our oyster crackers are fully coated in all the yummy goodness, and all you have to do now is serve them. It's as easy as that. You can serve it at your next Christmas party or holiday function, or if you're like me, I'm going to let these sit for just a couple of days in this container until I'm ready to package them up as gifts. I'm going to put them in little cellophane bags and tie them with a ribbon and add them to a gift basket. Alright, now we're going to do the firecrackers a second way, and this time we're going to do it with regular saltines. I've used the same container that I just did the oyster crackers in, and I just put a layer of saltines down in the bottom. This is for 1 pound of saltines. That's 4 envelopes in a box. This is going to be the same recipe, using the same measuring cup as before. I've got 1 cup of canola oil in my measuring cup. We're going to add another packet of Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning mix. It's a 1 ounce packet. I've got 2 tablespoons of crushed red pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic, 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. All right, we're just going to mix up that ranch packet and the crushed red pepper, the onion and garlic powder together. And this time we're going to do it a little bit differently. The last time we kind of just poured it in 2 different allotments. This time we're going to drizzle this, a light drizzle over all of these crackers, and then we're going to layer in some more crackers. All right, so I've got that stirred up. I'm just going to do a little drizzle over the tops of these saltines. All right, now I'm going to come right in with another layer from the crackers. If I keep giving you crackers, I won't have any to give away. What do you say? Can you say thank you? Oh. Mmm. Yummy cracker. Okay. All right. One more for the road. There you go. Alright, I've put my second layer of saltines in the pan. I'm going to be careful to whisk that mixture up again because the seasonings will want to settle in the oil. And I'm going to drizzle it in a second time. And I'm just going to repeat and go in with a third layer of crackers. All right, I've got my third layer in there. I'm just going to repeat the process one more time. All right, I've got my fourth and final layer for this size container in here, and I've discarded the broken crackers because some of these are going to break during this process and I want as many whole crackers as possible at the end, so I just got rid of some of the broken ones. We've got just a little bit of this mixture left. I'm just going to pour it on the top. Try to drizzle it evenly over the crackers. Okay. This time we're going to put our lid on our container, and instead of shaking it up, we're going to let them be in here for about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. But every 5 minutes we're just going to take it and we're going to turn it upside down like that. And that is going to help incorporate and distribute all of those seasonings throughout the container. So we'll let that sit for 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and I'll come flip it about every 5 minutes, and we'll see you when they're done. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes, and I've rotated these crackers every 5 minutes just by flipping them up and down. And as you can see, our firecrackers are done. They've absorbed a lot of that oil, and all that seasoning is dispersed on them. So now all you gotta do is put them on a plate and serve them at your party, or package them up as a delicious gift for this holiday season. It's quick, easy, and inexpensive. You don't need any special equipment, just a large airtight container. And you can have a mess, a whole big mess of snacks and gifts for Christmas. You got firecrackers 2 ways. Enjoy! All right, friends, we're back at it on our cracker game. I'm going to show you a variety of Christmas crack. Christmas crack is a really popular treat. It's given away at the holidays, served at cookie swaps and things like that. We're going to do 2 different variations of Christmas crack today, although the variations and the riffs on it are limitless. What we're going to do to start, we're making 2 batches of Christmas crack today. So if you're just going to make 1 pan, you're going to half this process here. But I've got a whole pound of butter, which is 2 cups of butter, and I've got 2 cups of brown sugar, and I'm going to add a pinch of salt to that. And we're going to put this on the stove. I'm going to put it on low to get the butter to start to melt and incorporate the sugar. I also have my oven preheated to 400 degrees. I've got two baking trays lined with foil. And what I'm going to do is spray those with some cooking spray. This will help make the cleanup a lot easier later. All right, the first variety we're going to be making is with saltines. And the second variety is with graham crackers. Both of them will have the same kind of toffee poured on top of them. So on the first tray, I'm just going to line the tray from edge to edge with saltines. And on my second variety, it's going to be graham crackers. And just like the saltines, I'm just going to layer my graham crackers in and fit as many as possible on the pan. Right. I've got both cookie trays here, lined with foil, sprayed with cooking spray, and I've got saltines on one and graham crackers on the other. Now I'm going to go to the stove, and I'm going to finish melting that butter and that brown sugar, and I'm going to let it come to a boil for a few minutes. Using a candy thermometer, I'm going to watch the temperature until it reaches 270 degrees. What we're doing is we're making a toffee mixture, and we want that toffee to set hard on top of these crackers. So once it reaches 270 degrees, I'll let it sit for a minute or two, and then we'll pour it evenly over both of these trays of crackers. All right, our butter and brown sugar mixture, which is going to be our toffee, has been boiling for a couple minutes, and it's reached 270 degrees by my candy thermometer. So I'm just going to spray a spatula with some cooking spray, and I'm going to pour very carefully about half of this over one pan and half of the mixture over the other pan. You want to take care not to disrupt the crackers too much. You don't want them to break or to move around on you. So I'm just going to use that spatula and carefully spread that toffee evenly over the pan to cover all the crackers. And it's best to move slowly and steadily so that you don't shift the crackers around too much. Now I'm doing two variations on this. You certainly could keep this recipe doubled like I have and do two pans of the same kind, both saltines or both with graham crackers, however you like. I like to keep things interesting. All right, so I've got both pans of my crackers here. They're going to go into my preheated oven at 400 degrees for about 5 minutes to help set the toffee. All right, while the crackers and the toffee are in the oven at 400 degrees for about 5, maybe 7 minutes, I'm going to talk about the toppings. I'm going to do two variations, one with saltines, and I'm going to cover that toffee with dark chocolate chips, and I'm going to use some chopped up walnuts and sea salt. And on top of the graham crackers, I'm going to use a semi-sweet chocolate chip and some Christmas sprinkles. You could do endless variations here. You could do pecans instead of walnuts. You can do any kind of sprinkle, sea salt. You could top it with some mini marshmallows. You could use Ritz crackers. You could do a swirl of peanut butter in with your chocolate. Whatever you can think of, you can invent in your Christmas crack recipe. All right, I got my 2 pans of crackers out of the oven. Just gonna move them around a little bit. Some of the crackers will have floated a touch while they were in the oven. That was bubbling away. And before we add any chocolate, we're gonna let this sit for about a minute or 2. As it is super hot now, we wanna let it cool off just a bit. Alright, got my crackers pretty well separated here, and we're going to let that rest for just a minute or 2. Alright, our chocolate has been resting, and what we're going to do is, for my recipe, I'm going to take 2 cups of dark chocolate chips and spread them on the saltines. And hopefully the heat from the toffee and the cracker will be enough to melt this chocolate. If not, we still have our oven on, and we'll slide it in the oven for just a minute to get that melty. And then for the graham crackers here, I've got 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Okay, I can already tell I'm going to need to warm this chocolate to let it melt fully. So I'm going to go ahead and put both pans in the oven for just about a minute. If you have to put your crackers with the chocolate back in the oven, you don't want to walk away. You want to be careful to watch it and leave it in there for just a minute or 2. If the chocolate gets too hot, it will seize and then you won't be able to spread it. We want it to just get melted enough to be able to spread it with a spatula. Alright, our saltines with the dark chocolate is ready to spread. Just gonna work slowly. You don't want to disrupt the crackers. Just carefully try to spread this across the whole surface of the cracker. You could use an offset spatula, but the offset spatula might disrupt the crackers. Rubber spatula is a little gentler, I think. And of course I sprayed mine down with some cooking spray to help prevent some sticking. Okay, I've completely covered the crackers with that melted dark chocolate. And now I've got about a cup of chopped walnuts here. And I'm just going to sprinkle those around. You could use pecans, you could use slivered almonds, any kind of nuts that you prefer. You could come in with any other kind of topping, like some crushed peppermints or any kind of crushed up Christmas candy, even maybe some dried fruit. And I'm going to hit it with a sprinkle of sea salt, because I like that chocolatey, salty combination. All right, our first variation is done. The second pan, you're just going to spread that chocolate over our graham crackers. And then I've just got some festive Christmas sprinkles to top it with. And that's it. Got two variations on a Christmas crack. What we'll do is we'll let this sit for about an hour to let it firm up and turn into candy. It'll harden. And then after about an hour, we'll take it off of the pans and we'll crack it into pieces, and then we'll be able to taste it and then package it.